Recognize.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Ranking Member. Thank you to our witnesses, Mr. Gardner, Mr. Kosha. It's always great to see you and to be able to partner with you on these incredibly important projects. The Gateway Program is one of the largest and most urgent infrastructure projects in the country and will improve reliability and resiliency for some of the most heavily trafficked miles of railroad in the country. And our district is home to the bulk of this project in New Jersey. Just this week, the Federal Transit Administration announced a full funding grant agreement for the Hudson Tunnel project, which will build a new two-track Hudson River rail tunnel to connect New Jersey to Manhattan. This agreement is a historic milestone for this project and is the next step towards finalizing the largest ever mass transit grant in U.S. history. This is incredible news for our district and will not only make significant strides in improving rail service, but will bring tens of thousands of jobs to our region. It is a privilege to sit on this committee and work with my colleagues on the committee and in our district to see this project to completion. Mr. Gardner, can you expand upon how the IIJA has resulted in more reliable service for those who use intercity passenger rail on a regular basis?
Well, thank you, Congressman, and we're overjoyed at the investments that are coming here to propel the Gateway program forward. And as you say, it is an incredible program. It's really to take the biggest bottleneck on the North American system, really, the two-track main line between Newark and New York, which is the busiest main line in North America, and create a four-track crossing that's reliable and that can serve for decades, hopefully centuries ahead, really. So we're really excited about that work. In addition to that project, there are a number of others in the region. There's the Portal North Bridge program, which is already underway, funded before IIJA. We've got the Sawtooth program, Dock Bridge, and a whole series of improvements that are being propelled because of the bipartisan infrastructure law investments. So it's really been decades in the making, these deferred investments, many we inherited when we took over the corridor in 1976, and this is the first time we've had the dollars available to make these improvements, and in partnership with the states, because these are not just Amtrak and federal investments. The states have, as our colleague here has said from North Carolina, we look for skin in the game participants here who can invest as well. So in addition to those huge projects, we're spending a lot of money trying to rebuild the railroad today so we get more reliability. The same issue for the tunnels exists at the track level. Switches, signals, overhead catenary. These systems are, in some cases, from the 1930s. So we've got to rebuild them, and we're out there doing that and trying to balance that with service because it's hard to rebuild the railroad while you're running trains. So we've got to find that right mix and be able to get more and more investment out in the railroad and have that show up as better, more reliable service for passengers.
Absolutely, and just want to quickly, because I want to be respectful of the other members, just give you an opportunity to follow up on this because we know about the incidents the last couple of weeks on the Northeast Corridor, et cetera. You allude to this in your prior answer, but just want you to be able to speak directly to the commuters, the residents of the district, and how does the IIJ funding towards the Northeast Corridor, how will it minimize and eventually eliminate incidents like what we've seen the last couple of weeks with on the Northeast Corridor?
Yeah. Well, so thank you. The events of the last couple of weeks were a combination of some infrastructure failures and some equipment issues on New Jersey Transit side. Again, we share this railroad today and 24 trains an hour. It's the busiest railroad service in the U.S. Here in this section. So on the infrastructure side, the big issues we had were some of our overhead wires. Again, this system that that supports the traction power for our trains is from the 1930s. We have fatigued, ancient, really, designs and old equipment here, and it's made more difficult because there's very little windows to be able to go and do the work. So what the IIJA is allowing us in partnership with New Jersey Transit to do is go out and programmatically address those known critical areas of failure so that we can remove them. Meanwhile, these big projects are going to have huge improvements as well because they're going to put entirely new systems of power and signals in their locations, and things like Portal Bridge today, which sometimes opens and gets stuck. Those kind of delays, which can throw a commute period into total chaos, they will be gone or dramatically reduced. Now, it's going to take some time, but we apologize to those who have been impacted by this. Of course, it's the last thing we want to do is have unreliable service, and we're working hard, but we're digging out of a deep hole, and it's going to take a lot of money and time. Thankfully, Congress's support here has given us that pathway.
Absolutely, and I appreciate all the work and know there's a lot more work to do. I yield back. Thank you both so much.